Welcome to the Touching Base podcast. We're not here to talk soft, so if you want to talk soft, go to the hairdressers.
We are here to go deep. Masculinity, mindset, business, and fitness. All things that actually make you useful.
Today, we're asking the real questions. Why are men so soft, lost, and stuck in survival mode, whilst the ones who fight, build, and lead, and keep rising?
If you've ever looked at your life and thought, there's more to this, but you're just unsure on how to unlock your potential, then this episode is where you start.
Let's burn the fluff, break the patterns, and build something fucking solid. Let's get it. Easy money. Saturday Cube.
What's going on, bro?
Bit of a different format in terms of a podcast. We thought we'd try something different here. You know, I'm a little bit tired of interviewing people and letting them talk about themselves. I just want to talk about myself a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Gotta be the main character sometimes.
Sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes.
Most of the time.
So the first segment of this podcast, is it a show or a podcast? What would you call it, bro? You're more the expert here.
It's a show.
It's a show now.
We're moving on. We're a show now.
We are now a show. Okay. So the first segment is called the Smoke of the Week. Now, this is where we typically talk about a trending topic, but this week I'm actually just going to talk about myself. You know what the trending topic is? I'm officially a free man as of tomorrow.
We love that.
Fuck probation. Fuck Her Majesty's prison system. Fuck you. So,
and to top it off, though, as well, sorry to interrupt, we've booked Dubai.
We have booked Dubai.
Dubai has been booked. We are now, we're trailblazing. We're worldwide.
Yeah.
We are worldwide.
International. Yeah. I mean, on a serious note, though, it's, for me, this is like a turning point, a massive turning point, because people have always said, oh, you've done so well. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe I've done well. You know, and I think for me, this is where I actually start to play the game, because yes, I have had restrictions in terms of me being able to travel, certain content I can shoot, certain things I can fucking say, you know, in terms of proceeds of crime, where they've got 300 odd K hanging over my fucking head.
That's rough.
Yeah, it is. And now it's a case of like, this is where my development actually starts. And that's why I'm leaning heavily into actually building my personal brand and stopping holding back from what I can say. Because before I was kind of restricted and certain things I couldn't say or was apprehensive of saying. So that's why we're making that shift. Just talk about the last 3.5 years, bro. First of all, I want to say thank you to you. Because for those of you who don't know, Cube has been with me since day dot. I got out of prison, started PTing on the gym floor, and I bumped into you. And do you remember one of the first things I said to you?
Ask me if I got shares in the place.
So Cube is a modest guy, but his work ethic was second to none. And I was watching him, and I was like, "Bro, you've definitely got shares in this place because you were doing the most."
You know, I'm glad I didn't.
And you were like, "Yeah, said Jim isn't doing too well at the moment." But yeah, I met you, and I believe God put you in my life for a reason. I seen you playing with that camera, and then we started creating content together. And obviously you've got your business, KKD Media, and you're doing bits at the moment.
That first shoot, hanging out in your dad's car.
Yeah.
Freezing.
Yeah.
With that Olympus camera, it had no stabilization whatsoever. It was just shaky as anything.
And we were having a laugh.
It's that Mayweather.
Yeah. I remember the soundtrack. We were just having a laugh before we went live with this.
Yeah.
We actually did a podcast in my front room with Rode mics.
Yeah.
No lighting, none of this stuff. So
it was one Rode mic in the middle.
Yeah.
One Rode mic in the middle. And when I was editing it, I had to just keep adjusting the gain whenever we spoke so it could actually pick us
it's
up.
Progression though, bro.
100%.
Progression.
100%.
So just for you guys who don't know who Cube is, Cube, what is it that you do? Explain to the fans.
So the fans. So what I do primarily is I'm a videographer, a little bit of photography, but I mainly thrive and what I enjoy doing is marketing. So I work strictly with businesses or people that want to kind of build their personal brand, just so there's purpose. Because what I found is if I'm recording someone and they're just like, oh, just film me doing whatever, and there's no purpose behind it, one, they're a terrible client. Two, they don't want to pay the money for the time and what I believe the amount of time and work I put
know your
into
worth, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I've built my value up, you know, and I've invested loads of money into my own equipment, my own time, my own progression. So I like working with businesses that understand and value what I've done. And I really thrive off seeing other people succeed as well. So, you know, helping you grow to a certain point, helping other businesses do the same thing. That's where I kind of find value. So that's my purpose. Alongside that, there's purpose behind the content. So we actually have a clear goal. Because you know, without any clarity,
Throwing shit at the wall,
Yeah,
seeing what
it's
sticks.
just rubbish. I hate editing it. It means nothing. But when there's actually something, a goal, I know exactly we can build a strategy and we can film, we can produce content, we can actually build to a certain point.
Yeah, and I think as well, what's important is when somebody comes to you, and I had a very clear goal of where I want to take this
very,
thing,
very clear.
and I told you on that vision.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of, I like to think that that's what kind of made you believe in me and like, thought,
100%.
But that's easier to create content for those sorts of people.
It's so much easier, because you know what you're trying to achieve. You know what the goal is. You want to do this, you want to do that. Like, it's cool. We can create content that actually helps out. But when someone comes about a clear goal, some people go, oh, can have a video. And I'm like, okay, what's the purpose of the video? And they're just like, just video, innit?
Just want to do a cool video, bro.
Yeah, I just want to do a video. Like, cool. Make it cinematic. Doesn't mean anything. So basically, you just want me put it in slow motion.
That's what people do majority of the time.
Yeah, legit. I'll make it more cinematic. 1 second. Let me just put it about 50% slow motion. Yeah, that's what I want, bro. I'm like, it's rubbish. It's the word cinematic. It doesn't really doesn't have much of a meaning, especially when there's no purpose, there's no reason behind it. You can't. Cinema, it's got purpose. Like, even like the sound design and how you do everything, there's a purpose to it. It's to bring people in. But if you don't actually know what you're trying to create, what you're bringing people into, it's just stupid, man.
Yeah,
It's
I see that
frustrating
mistake all the time.
It's frustrating.
For sure. What's your progression been like over the last 3.5 years? Obviously, since I come into your life and absolutely, I believed in you, bro. Even when you didn't believe in yourself.
Believe.
Yeah, we
Don't want to
believe.
see me shine.
Yeah.
That meme was crazy.
I actually, you know what? This is what I want to ask you. How has people's perception of you changed over the last 3.5 years? That for me is the most interesting. As you started to climb and improve and get better and make more money, let's face it.
Yeah.
How has that perception changed?
I don't actually know. You know what I find?
You do.
You know, it's not necessarily the people that I knew before.
Yeah.
It's the people that I've got to know now. Like, you can kind of tell straight away that, like, there's more respect there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I meet someone, they're like, oh, you create these videos. I've seen your videos. You're doing sick. I want your help. I want your help. So there's like an element of when people kind of approach me in a certain way, they see me as kind of here anyway, because I'm that guy that can help them elevate. I can help them do something. And I'm just like, you know what? It's nice. It is nice.
They give you a bit of a hand job,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. A good one, though.
Yeah,
like a good one.
There's nothing wrong with that.
A professional one.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong with a professional.
It's nice being recognised for your work.
100%, and that's what I love. I love when people go, "Oh, you created that. It was sick. It was good. It was good." Like, the recognition is nice, although it is kind of, I guess it's a bit for the ego, for the pride. But
you need that to keep going, bro. If no one's recognising your work, especially with your work, it's public facing.
Yeah.
If no one's coming up to you and saying, "Yo, that was sick,"
yeah, exactly,
then you're shit. You're doing a very poor job.
Yeah, basically, I think people get caught in the trap of like trying to create something for, like, when I create something, I'm creating it for the end user, like the viewers, so they have to appreciate it. It's like, I think as creators, we get lost in creating stuff for other creatives. Like, I'm trying to do this transition.
Same with me before. I was creating content. When I look back and I think, I'm just trying to impress other coaches. Fuck them. And then when I've gone back to speaking, putting across what I want to, even more so now, like, I'm doubling down, bro. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Yeah. I can say whatever I want. Now it's like I feel comfortable. People are resonating. I'm just getting messages of random people like, bruv, I love what you're saying. I love what you're doing. Even people I used to fuck with before, they're like, where did you go, man? You turned into this. I was like, yeah, because I couldn't really speak openly on certain things.
Yeah, I also don't think it helps that some of the mentors.
I'm not blaming mentors. I chose to work with them mentors.
You did choose to work with them, but as we said, community can be a killer sometimes. Yeah. And when you're put into that environment where they're like, you've got to speak a certain way or create content a certain way or offer something a certain way, you get lost because you've chosen to work with them. So you're going to go, okay, I need to stick this out.
Yeah.
Whereas kind of before, when we first started, the reins were completely loose.
Yeah.
And now the reins are completely loose. But I think you need that bit of development where it's a learning process.
Whoever your teacher is, whoever your mentor is, whoever your coach is, don't get me wrong, they are in a position to help you. They are teaching you should listen, but then also you need to also, after you've learned the basic skills, put your own twist on it.
You have to. You have to be authentic.
Yeah.
That's what I try and tell everyone when I'm filming. I'm like, I want to create this content. I'm like, is it you? Like, be authentic, because then it comes naturally, and it's so much easier to deliver that type of content. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
When it's completely yourself, it's something you would say, it's a way that you would phrase it, and the people that you want to reach, actually reach them.
It resonates.
Yeah,
you know.
It sits with them. They find value in what you say, and more importantly, the way you say it.
Yeah,
it's important.
Definitely.
It's important.
What I also find funny is when people say to me, "I don't know what content to post." Post something.
Oh,
I can remember when I was in prison. I was looking through my archives on my stories the other day. I was posting content 6 months before I got out of jail. I was in jail. And I was posting content. I was posting my workouts on my stories, topless pic, full on thirst trap, yeah? With my workout written over it.
Like Kimbo Slice.
Get Kimbo Slice and shit, yeah, with that beard. That's what, I didn't know anything apart from that, but I was posting. I was eager.
Yeah.
People say, I don't know what content. Bro, what excuse have you got? I was like, bro, come on. Come on. Like, really? Really?
They're just chilling at home, like, I don't know what post.
I don't know what post.
You're in prison.
Something.
15 minutes.
Anything.
15 minutes of free time during COVID. Like, yeah, come on, we'll just go get this video in.
Yeah. So that it blows my
no
fucking mind.
excuse.
Right. Second segment, apparently.
Okay.
This is called the deep end.
Lovely.
Are you ready for the deep end?
No, I wasn't a great swimmer.
All right.
I've gotten better, though.
Since when? I haven't seen you, heard of you swimming.
I've just gotten better.
I think that's a lie. But we'll move on from that anyway. So this is where things get a little bit more serious.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm involved.
Okay, so the topic for today is a serious one. Is how to handle betrayal as a man. I mean, have there been any points in your life where you've been betrayed?
I feel like it's such like a...
It's deep in that.
I feel like it's such like a medieval word.
Yeah. Betrayal.
Thou hast betrayed me.
Betrayal.
Yeah. Been
Treachery.
betrayed. You know what? I have, to be honest.
Do you care to elaborate?
So when I was in college, I had a girlfriend. Okay.
Put on.
Shout out me, yeah. But one of my teammates slept with her. Do you know what I mean?
Fucking cunt.
Honestly, dickhead. Joffrey was like, I'm going to bang him. Where is he? I'm going to go hit. I'm going to game now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. At the time,
How did you deal with that? Because at that age, bro, you're like, that could really fuck you up, bro.
Yeah, it could.
That could really, like, you could cry into your pillow for a good
so that
few
was
nights at least.
That was like my first year of uni is when kind of that ended. I found that out and I was just kind of like, it was on a night out actually. It was on a night out.
So how old are you?
I was 19.
Okay, got you.
19. So obviously we got together in college. Then afterwards, that all happened. And I remember I was in the toilets at staff's uni. And I was contemplating. I was like, I've never been an emotionally reactive person. So I've never been a person to be like, something's happened to me. I'm like, right, I need to get them back straight away. I need to get them back and get them back. At that point, the relationship had been over and I kind of found out afterwards and I just didn't care. Like, I cared to the point where like, oh, so like, you're not my boy, obviously. Like, you're not my friend. But I didn't care enough to want a reaction, to be like, yeah, we'll go find him, we'll go. Because what's that going to achieve?
What was your reaction towards her?
Oh, I mean, I didn't speak to her. And I didn't speak to her at that point anyway.
Okay.
Never spoke. So it was like, we had no reason. We never crossed paths. We never really had a reason to see each other again. So it doesn't really, I don't know. I think Joff was more angry than I was. Because Joff was just like ready to go kill him. And I was just like, that's not what I need. I think everyone needs something different when they go through something like that. Some people need someone to hype them up and be like, yeah, we'll go get him. And then some people just need someone to be like,
put him in the boot.
Yeah, some people just need someone. I just need someone to be like, okay, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And all I wanted to do was go carry on with my life.
Yeah.
Because I was 19.
Was there any response? Like, you're saying you're very emotionless and whatnot. Was there no response whatsoever?
I think I felt vindicated at the time because I thought so before, in this kind of just, when it said, I was like, okay, so I wasn't going
mental.
loopy. Yeah, I wasn't going loopy. I wasn't just making stuff up in my head. This was actually happening. And then I was like, okay, cool. So like I was like, right, so I'm not crazy. I wasn't like just jumping to conclusions or being whatever and having all this. And I think for one, I was just like, yeah, cool. People thought I don't really like the word closure, but I suppose it gave me the closure that I needed. And I think I was just enjoying my life at that point anyway, that didn't really affect me. It upset me that someone who, like, the way the basketball team would work anyway is like we always saw ourselves as a family. You know, we train together, we eat together, we win together, we lose together, whatever happens, it's always together. So that bothered me to the point where I was like, someone who, like, you know, shaking hands with, I've called team, called brother, called family.
You've ate with.
Would do that. But then I was kind of like, yeah, fuck it. I know who my friends are now.
Yeah. I think with betrayal, it can go one of two ways. Me personally, bro, I've always dealt with it the same way. It's like, I am going to level the fuck up to the point where you are completely irrelevant to me.
Yeah, exactly. So like, for me, I was like, I'll focus more on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Rather than focus on a petty scrap.
Yeah.
There's like, doesn't really.
And that motivates me. That motivates me.
Yeah.
You know, whether it is going to the gym, it's making more money, you know, it's putting myself out there.
Put a fuck you on it.
Put a fuck you at the end of it. That's what I always say. Put a fuck you on the end of it. Everything.
Exactly.
That's where I operate at my best. Anytime I've had any sort of betrayal, as it were.
Adversity, betrayal. Anything. Betrayal.
It's always been, that's been my go-to reaction, because the other option is you can become destructive. You know, you can pick something destructive towards yourself. So
you can become consumed by it.
Yeah, and I'd rather not sit there. It is gonna drive. I use it as a driving force more than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what most guys need to do when they are betrayed, when things don't go the right way, whether it is a friend, whether it is a relationship, whatever it might be. That should be a trigger, and for you to go and level up. That should be a signal that you need to improve. Because don't get me wrong, there's different levels of betrayal. Like, I've had people I considered friends steal from me. Things would go missing back in the day. You know, relationships, etc. That happens, but it's the way that you respond. And I think the only way to respond as a man is to level the fuck up. And that can mean on different levels. It can be your appearance. It can be your environment. It can be your finances, how available you are, your boundaries.
Yeah, I think boundaries is a big one.
Because
what I like to do, I kind of just like to sit in it almost and think, where did I fuck up? Because there's always an element of...
What about people saying, you shouldn't blame yourself?
Shouldn't blame. I think there's...
I think it's very helpful, useful blaming yourself.
Are you to blame for the whole thing? No. But you do have an element.
You had a role to play in it.
You have a role to play in it. There's an element of personal responsibility in everything. Everything the bad that happens, everything that goes wrong.
And everything good that happens.
Like this great thing happened because you smashed it.
Yeah.
This bad thing happened because maybe you were unaware, you were naive.
You weren't paying attention.
You weren't paying attention. You didn't recognize the signs. So it's on you to be like, okay, where did I go wrong? Just so if you see those signs again in the future, you know what you're doing. You know, you can say like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't adding up. Last time this happened. Because I think if you just brush over it and go, oh, I did nothing wrong. It's all on those people. They did bad to me. It's just the cycle's going to continue because you're not recognizing where you messed up. You're not recognizing what you did or what you can do to prevent it. So like I'm kind of big on that.
Yeah. I think as well with this sort of thing, where do you feel like this? I want to get your opinion on this actually. Where do most men suffer from betrayal? In what area of their life? Who does it come from a lot of the time? I find it comes from friends, the people that are closest to you. Because it's only those who can betray you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a stranger can't betray you.
Yeah.
But I do think it comes from a place of jealousy a lot of the time.
I think it's jealousy, or I think sometimes it's a person's nature. Like, to take a mile when you give them an inch. But I think if you try to see yourself as a nice person.
No, but I'm going to play devil's advocate on that because there's certain people that that would get betrayed and there's certain people that you don't because there's going to be repercussions.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who's...
That's what I meant. I meant your nature of the person who gets betrayed.
Yeah.
Like if you're like a nicey nice type of person, I want to help everybody out.
Yeah.
Because that's how I used to be.
Yeah.
And you see
those people do take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah, they take the piss.
They will.
That's what they do. And you need to then recognize it and be like, okay, because the person I am now is way different to the person I was 3-4 years ago. Because back then I was kind of just like, yeah. Like I'd put myself out to help someone else, like constantly. Whereas now I'm
Why do you think that was?
I think I had a lot of anxiety around people leaving.
Okay.
Thinking like, oh, if I don't do this, they're not going to want to be friends with me.
Or they're not going to like me.
They're not going to like me. I wanted everyone to like me. So I would do things that ensured that they liked me. But all that meant was, it didn't mean they liked me. It meant they knew that I would bend over backwards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now, I do things that benefit me. And I'm don't get me wrong, I'm more than happy to go out my way for people. But the second I feel like they're taking advantage, I'm more than happy to be like, I don't need to do this.
People disagree with me when I say that every relationship is transactional.
Yeah, I think
People
majority.
Like, no, it isn't. Any good relationship is transactional because both parties have to benefit.
Yeah.
Imagine a relationship where there's a friendship or intimate relationship or whatever it might be. Imagine only if one side benefited in that relationship. Imagine if you're the person who's just giving and giving and giving and giving, and there's another person just taking and taking and taking. Do you think that relationship's going to last? No.
Definitely
Somebody's
not.
going to go away feeling better, and the other person's going to think sausage.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he'll fix it. He'll be all right with it.
The thing is, the longer you leave it, the harder it is to speak up.
Yeah.
Because what I noticed as well, like I like nipping things in the bud. Like just straight away.
Set pace straight away.
Yeah. It's something that I don't like happens because it doesn't come out of the blue then. Because if we have a friendship and I'm okay with something, but then 6 months down the line, I'm actually sick of it. In 6 months down the line, I speak up and go, I don't like that. You're going to say, well, for the last 6 months, that's been okay. That's been okay.
Yeah.
What's changed? What's happened? Now you're being weird. Whereas like the first time it happens, you go, I'm not comfortable. I don't like that. Don't do that.
Set your standards early.
Set your standards early and everything else comes so much easier. Because then you have boundaries. You have, when you set a boundary, they feel comfortable to also set their boundaries. And then it's a mutual respect. And if you don't like the boundaries they set and they don't like the boundaries you set, then that's fine. You just part ways.
Yeah.
Easy.
And I think the reason why me and you remain friends is because we do rely on each other to some extent.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
the synergy, it's synergetic.
Yeah, you told me that word. 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
That's the best relationships.
100%.
And they're the ones that stand the test of time. And also, it has been a journey together. Like, we've had fun. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We've had a laugh.
Yeah, there've been times where rough.
There's been very, very
stressful
times.
Very shit times.
Stressful times. 4 a.m. in the morning. Like, oh, what are we doing? Is this thing even going to work? Are we doing it right? What should we do? God, you don't even know.
That's normal though.
It's normal. You don't even know what to do. All you know is just keep doing. I think it's good to have two people though.
Yeah.
Because if you have those thoughts on your own, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It's fucked. Because then you start believing into it. Whereas like luckily, if you were having those thoughts, I would be like, nah man, we're doing it right. Like, if I'm having those thoughts.
And that's what actually causes a lot of men to fail in their endeavors, is because they haven't got somebody that they can go to.
Yeah.
When you are getting kicked in the teeth, learn from that, but then also ask for help. Because the other person is going to be able to see your blind spots. And I find with the guys that I work with, they are open to getting, the more intelligent I find, this is a blanket statement, the more intelligent somebody is, the more open to getting help that they are, because they realize that they don't fucking know it all.
Yeah,
because
I think
the more that you know, you realize
you don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, when you're aware of what you don't actually know, is like, that's what intelligence is. I believe that as well, because ask a lot of questions. They have a lot of questions to ask because they're interested. But I think the more interested you are in learning, like you say, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't actually know. And when you do that, you reach out to people who know those things. As long as they're useful to you, then you learn them, you pick them up. But you go to that person. You don't go to that person and say, help me with this, and then they help you and you go, no, that's wrong. wouldn't make any sense.
Mm.
But people do it.
Yeah.
People do it all the time.
What about this? I'll figure it out on my own. Bullshit.
I mean, it's possible. It's just going to take you longer.
Who has figured it out on their own? I'll wait. I'll wait.
I don't know.
No one.
Yeah.
No one.
No, no one who's successful has done it on their own.
Nobody.
There's always been someone behind them.
There has to be a team. There has to, you value is only created in the presence of others. You can't create it on your own. Once again, synergy. That has to happen. And people think, it's wrong if I get help with this and fucking I can figure it out.
You know what it is?
Shut up, man.
I think people go like, I want to be self-made. Like, you're still self-made.
There's no such thing as self-made, bro. Your mum gave birth to you.
No, she didn't.
What is self-made? What are you on about, bro? Your mum gave birth to you. What are you on about? You didn't come into this world on your own. You think you can make it in this world on your own.
People want to
need people.
The idea of self-made, about, I don't want to ask for help because I want to say I did it all on my own. They don't want someone to go, I helped with that. They don't want that. I think they feel like it potentially diminishes their achievements. When it doesn't. But like, at the end of the day, if you don't have that help, you're not going to have the achievements that you want.
Yeah, and
everyone has a coach.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I can imagine it would be really, 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 really fucking shit throwing a party just for yourself.
Yeah.
You need people to celebrate with.
100%. 100%. I think it's good to have people there as well because they witness when you're down, they witness when you're up. It's almost like a testament to your hard work.
Yeah.
They're a witness. It's good because I think having someone else there also helps them, almost kind of empowers other people to want to better themselves as well.
Yeah.
Like when you surround yourself, especially with people that have an idea, potentially have a dream or a purpose that they want to pursue, and they're unsure, when they see you work, when they're around the people that have gone, fuck it, drop everything and pursue it, it kind of gives them the confidence to be like, courage, I can do it. Because it's dark on your own. It's hard on your own when you feel like I'm too scared to do it. I'm unsure. You need someone to help you with that leap of faith. Sometimes they just gotta kick you off the mountain, force you to take that leap. You helped me definitely with that because I was in a job and I was just like, I don't know. And after hearing the vision, kind of being a part of it at the start, I was kind of just like, yeah, you know what, it has to happen. It has to happen. There's no way that I can be here and here at the same time and both things work. I've got to choose one.
You've got to commit.
Have to.
What made you commit? What was the
purpose? Like, I didn't feel like, I felt lost anyway because I felt like I was in a job that had no progression and I wasn't necessarily super, super happy with what I was doing. I didn't love work. I didn't hate it because I was surrounded by my friends.
That's one thing that struck me about you. It was like, why is no one helping this guy with his potential? That's the main thing that struck me about you because you were in that gym and you were doing the content, you were doing the books, you were behind the desk.
Yeah.
Were you cleaning? I can't remember if you were cleaning.
I was standard cleaning the gym. Yeah. So cleaning the gym, doing that. I had spreadsheets coming out my arse.
Yeah.
Just trying to.
And somebody that skilled in different areas. Obviously, I was cleaning aside, but are you with me? I thought, why is no one tapping in or linking up with this guy to make something great instead of, the way that I saw you being treated was like, you were underutilized and it was sad to see because it was like, leave this guy another 3-4 years, he will lose that hope.
Yeah, 100%.
In terms of his own ability.
Yeah, I felt underutilized as well. I felt like I was doing it was falling on deaf ears. Like I was doing all this stuff. I was putting all these systems
in place. And that was
place.
with a guy who was like, I'll do myself.
Yeah.
I know better than you.
Yeah.
Well, why is he employed there in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
So some people can't be told. But yeah, I think from the outside looking in terms of who you were and who you are now, bro, I'm going to say you used to operate in a scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
And that used to piss me off, bro.
Yeah.
It was like everything's spenny. Everything's too much.
Spenny.
Yeah. I learned that word off you.
Some things are spenny.
Only if you ain't got the money. And only when you've got the belief that you can't get the money or you haven't got the resources to go get that.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I think with you. I was like, bro, just drop that fucking language. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you've done that.
Yeah, I still like the word spenny.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong.
But now when I say spenny, I don't mean it's expensive. I mean it's too much for what it is.
Yeah.
Because some things are just too much for what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you see, I don't know, you see a Gucci jumper that's like 1,500 quid. And you know, whether you
if you don't value, if you value,
that's what I'm
if
saying.
you value
I'm like,
Gucci,
God,
that Gucci jumper,
yeah,
then cool,
I'm saying,
go get
God,
it. And if that's gonna make you happy, cool.
That's spenny for what it is.
Yeah, it's depends on the value. It depends on the value.
Yeah,
but there's what I'm referring to is the time when you saw the value in something, but you didn't move towards it because you thought of the money factor, not the value that it could bring to your life.
Now I'm just like, I'll buy it.
I've seen that piece of camera equipment. I'm getting it because that's going to make my videos bang even more so.
Yeah.
And that's where people kind of this expensive thing. No, it's just, can you see the value in it? Yes. Okay. Is it worth the value?
That's a development.
Is it worth it? So that makes the most sense for me.
It all kind of came into perspective for me. Like one time we were in Destination Gym and Phil came up to me. Phil, the videographer.
Yeah.
Now he's been making videos for years. Like I've only been making videos for 2.5, 3 years. So like when I first started, to me, like his videos were sick. I was like, oh, you know. And then he's come up to me in the gym and been like, bro, you're such an inspiration. I was like, what? He's like, I love it. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what? Like I'm just a guy that holds the camera every now and again. And he was like, yeah, he's like, you quit your job and I love the videos you make and you know the progression and everything like that. And I was just like, because he's still doing it part time, but he must have been doing it for what, 5, 6, 7 years.
You know the difference is he hasn't got a pair of balls.
Legit. He didn't have the thing to quit his job and go full time. But now I look at the content and I'm like, oh, I produce way better content than he does. But I think it's because I've made it my life.
Yeah.
I've made it all I do. People are like, oh, you never come out, you never see the light of day, you're always busy. I'm like, I am, but I love what I do. And I'm happy doing it and I've made it my life. Like, there's nothing more important to me at the minute than getting better. That's the only thing that's important to me.
Yeah. And then
nothing.
You know, the money, the accolades, the big jobs, they'll come.
They'll come. And like, you know, that's not my main priority.
But the main thing for me, you know what lets you down? I've said this to you before.
Go on.
This is the first time that Cube has been in front of camera.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I did a brief stint once when I made a video.
No, but that
a funny video.
Yeah, but that wasn't in a professional sort of.
No, it wasn't.
Direction. It was more, I'm gonna have fun with the camera, and you know, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Check it out on OnlyFans. No, it's not that sort of video.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe.
Please, I need the money.
But in this context, as a professional, as somebody who's got value to add, you've never been in front of camera, and I think that's the only thing that's holding you back and letting you down. Because when I'm putting out content and people are seeing my videos, they're like, "Who the fuck has done that?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "My boy." And like, keep your boy close. I goes, "Don't worry."
The hermit.
Yeah.
I just stay in my room. Like, there's times when my people have said to me, "Oh, the weather's been lovely," and I'm like, I don't have a clue because the shades have to be closed, so there's no glare on my screen. So I couldn't tell you what the weather's been like. I couldn't tell you it's been sunny. Couldn't tell you it's been cold. There was a day where I did 56 steps in the entire day, and that is literally just trip to the toilet, trip to the fridge. I think something like that, and it was literally 6 cans of Monster, sugar free, obviously because I'm watching my weight, and and then just editing. Bam, bam. But I think, you know what it is? When you spend so much time editing other people's content, it's super hard to get your own done.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I'm just like, I've got content here, content there, content there. And when I get a break, I'm like...
And at the same time, I imagine you don't want to pay somebody else to do your content because it isn't going to be up to your standard.
Yeah, it does get like that. It does get like that. Especially like locally. Don't get me wrong, there's people that are way better than me. But locally, I don't know.
Can I get a commitment off you to start to create content for yourself?
You know, you can, yeah.
Today?
100%. I'm creating, when we're out in Dubai, I'm creating loads of content for myself. I'm going to utilize that space.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the issues that I've had is my house, let's say, doesn't really reflect the kind of level of professionalism that I want to put across. So I need to get like a studio or somewhere nicer. So I need to find a spot.
What advice would you give to somebody who gives you that obstacle?
Just find a studio. Just do it.
What if they can't get a studio? What if they don't get to the studio part, what would you advise then? Be real, bro.
I say just create the content.
Fucking do it, bro. Just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that'll come when you start getting these bigger jobs. You've got some sick jobs coming up. You've got Joe McManus's daughter. What's her name? Kira, who's the #1 CrossFit athlete
in the world.
In the world.
World.
And I hate
her age, juniors, youth, I think it's youth.
So you're doing a documentary with her.
Tank, you know.
I know she is.
Well, I'm doing the social media short form content as well. What I'm doing. So I've been doing that.
Yeah.
But it's absolute.
You
tank,
know,
bro.
you're doing a lot of work with legal nutrition. You do a lot of work for me.
Well, I'm heading up their marketing team, so like I'm fully in control of that now.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a bit of a convoluted question. Ask you to big me up, but how did that meeting me? I know it was kind of off. It was a bit weird, wasn't it? Like we were a weird pair.
Yeah. I would not put us two together.
Yeah.
We're very much opposite.
How did that change you, your life, your business?
You know what it is? It's like what I was saying before. Like, you know, when you see someone operate just completely without giving a fuck, you start to operate more like that. And that's kind of what I needed. So like I had the ideas, I had the ability to go and execute it. It's just I'm my university teachers call it paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
I
call it being a pussy.
Yeah, I need so much information to go and make a decision. When really now I'm kind of more of the belief of make the decision and the information is going to come. You're going to realize where you fucked up.
You get clarity by taking action.
You're going to realize where you fucked up, and you said it best when you're like, by the time you've come up with the perfect plan, I failed 5 times, and I'm on the next one, and it's going to work or it's going to be better because there's no such thing as a perfect plan. You put the perfect plan in play, and the only thing you can plan for is that's going to fail. You just know 100%. Nothing ever goes your way. Nothing ever did. The amount of times we've made it.
This is the one.
We've made it. That's
this
it.
Is the one.
That's
this
it.
funnel.
Yep. this lead
strategy.
magnet. Wow. God, this video. We shot a video in JD Gyms.
We were gassed about that at the time.
Did that video. I was like, it was sick. I was like, yeah, I'm waiting for my call. From Hollywood, Netflix, Stanley Kubrick. I'll be there. And I look at that video now and I can't even look at it without cringing.
Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
It is bad. But at the time, I think you need those moments. You gas yourself up. You're like, yeah.
You need those wins to keep you going. If you can't celebrate it, that's what, that's a big issue. And I put this in the group chat today, actually, with the lads. On a Wednesday, I asked for wins that they've had over the last 7 days.
Yeah.
And the guys who don't participate or struggle to find their wins is because they're not looking for them, or they don't class the things. They're a bit apprehensive about putting forward their wins because they think it pales in comparison to somebody else's.
Yeah,
it's your fucking wins.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter to anyone else. It's not a dick measuring contest. It's like about you recognizing, yo, I'm a bit of a G, This week I've done sick, I've done the business in this area. We might have multiple wins, So that's what I feel like you've got to be able to look back and think, yeah, that was sick at the time.
Yeah.
But if you didn't think that was sick at the time, if you thought it was shit, or you didn't recognize that as a win, you may not have carried on going. You may not have had that wind in your sails,
100%.
Kept pushing.
You need those constant micro wins, micro victories.
Going to move on to the next segment.
Far away.
Lessons from the fight. So this is the part of the show where we talk about some of the latest fights in combat sports. And seeing as we are in Liverpool, that shit accent.
It's awful.
Can I try again?
No.
All right.
I wouldn't.
I've had my chance.
Yeah.
Paddy the Baddie Pimlet.
Big win.
Big fucking win.
Big win. You know what? I will say this. And I've always been the guy where I'm like, his chin's too high. He's going to get knocked out when he fights someone real. And he did the business.
Yeah. You want respect about Paddy?
Go on.
He does not give a fuck.
Nah, he's just about it.
From day one, even when he wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I've had Harry on from Warfare just before this, and I was saying to him, is that level of self-belief needs to be there, especially in the fight game. And I saw that video of Adesanya coming up to him, and he was like, I need to stop counting you out.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I feel the same, because the amount of times I've said, oh man, he's not a top 10 or he's not a top 15 fighter.
Until he is.
Until he is. And you know what? I'm sorry, Paddy. You're a G.
Yeah. I mean,
he's doing it, man.
And it wasn't just a win. It was a demolition job.
Yeah, TKO'd him as well. It's
Yeah.
nice. And Chandler, although Chandler's been out the ring for a while, even though you can't keep making excuses, he's still he's a dangerous fighter. He's explosive.
Mm.
He's explosive. He's got good wrestling. He's willing to. Have you seen the reaction of Dustin Poirier on it?
No.
Dustin Poirier looked like he didn't want any business fighting Paddy.
Yeah.
That's really like, I think Poirier's retired anyway. I've not seen him fight in ages.
Mm.
But like, he sees a reaction, he's kind of just like,
Oh,
deadpan, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I think he really thought that Chandler was going to win. And then, because I'm guessing Paddy's next fight even needs to be, I wouldn't say title, but I think someone who's like a top fiver. Then
thinking?
the one afterwards should be, but it's tough. It's tough to say anyone will beat Islam Makhachev.
Yeah.
That's a
Them
tough
Dagestanis
champion.
are different, bro.
He's a tank as well.
Mm.
Like, he's got stand up, he's got wrestling, he's got jits, he's all around. He's a good fighter. So it's hard to say that anyone will beat him. But Paddy's been proving everyone wrong since day. And you know what? I'd love a British champ.
I'd love that as well.
I'd love a British champ.
Because he just looks like, when he's out of camp, he just looks like a guy you'd meet down the pub.
The weight gets
in the toilets.
The weight gets me. The amount of weight he puts on out of camp. Have you seen him out of camp?
He don't give a fuck.
He's a balloon.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. And he'll put it on his stories and you can see.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He's actually like eating, lad. I'm like,
However, going to play devil's advocate here. At that elite level, is there room for that? Is he going to change his approach? Because Ricky Aston used to do the same in boxing. He used to balloon up in between fights.
I think he has to, because I think it affects your training. I think because
you spend most of your camp, instead of working on what you should be working on, managing weight.
Yeah. I think once you get in that, once he's in the position he is now, top 15, top 10, getting ranked, wanting a title shot, I think you have to be way more refined with your approach.
Yeah.
You know, as someone who's never had a fight, I will say you do have to become way more refined.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as someone who's never had a professional fight or a fight, I sparred once when I was 14.
How did that go for you?
It was all right. I was really good at dodging.
Yeah.
I think I threw one jab, landed it, technically won. So.
When's the next one?
I reckon.
Who are you calling out?
I don't. No one. Jake Paul, fight me.
Would you reckon that influencer boxing?
You know what? It's great. It's great to.
I've changed my mind on this. Yeah,
it's great. It puts new eyes on. Boxing was dying. Let's be real. Boxing. I'm
biased because I enjoy watching boxing.
Yeah, but if you ask anyone that's like 20, 23 years of age, they're not really watching boxing. Maybe they watch Joshua. Maybe they watch Fury. That's it. Canelo potentially.
Yeah.
That was all they were watching. Now more people are interested in boxing, and I think it's really good what they're doing, especially when they put professional fighters on the cards.
Yeah.
The boxing, it's a shambles. It is a shambles, but I do think more young people are getting interested in boxing.
I think it's kind of coming out that shambles phase. Don't get me wrong in terms of some decisions go the wrong way, but with the Arabs, the Saudis getting involved, Big Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Me?
But he reminds me of the Emperor in Rome at the Colosseum. Whatever he says goes.
Yeah.
And he's just and he had doing bits. He's making big fights happen. He's making the best fight the best.
Yeah, it's fan service. At the end of the day, as with everything, the fans make it happen.
Yeah.
If no one's tuning in, it doesn't matter stylistically if the fight's really good or on paper it looks great. People want to see the fights they want to see. And I think that's why the UFC does really well, because Dana just puts the people up against who they want to see.
But the UFC over the last 12 months had one of their worst years for a long time.
I think the fighters just haven't been there.
The personalities haven't been there.
The personalities. I mean, it's hard when you've got someone like McGregor who basically just ran it all.
Yeah. And I think with, as well, what boxing promoters do better than Dana White is they will push the fighters.
Yeah.
They will, big them up. They will bring out this personality and kind of market them a lot better. Whereas I think with the UFC, it's the Dana show.
Yeah.
I think Dana's the biggest star in the UFC, whereas it isn't the case.
He is now.
It isn't the case in boxing.
Before it was McGregor.
Yeah.
McGregor ran it.
Yeah.
He ran it. But that's why he had so much power, because he was the only one. He was running it. Even Dana realized he was bigger than him. And he knew that every time McGregor was on a card, it was going to be, the pay-per-views are going to be crazy. The money was going to be mental. So at the end of the day, McGregor could have done whatever he wanted to do. Like now, if he called up and was like, I'm fighting, Dana would put him on a card.
Yeah, no problem.
It would happen because money, it's eyes on the sport. And the UFC or MMA has grown because of McGregor.
1,000,000%.
He's done absolute wonders. As much as I think now he's kind of descended into an absolute turmoil.
Yeah.
I mean, it's when you got so much money, I guess.
That's what can happen when you achieve everything you set out to.
Yeah.
And then there's that emptiness.
Yeah, because he's got nothing to push for.
There's no purpose.
He achieved everything. He became double champ. He fought
Double
Mayweather on one of the, I think one of the biggest pay-per-views ever. He did it all. There's nothing left for him to do, and other than just spend his money and go a bit crazy. That's kind of what's happened. I'd love to see him just rein it back in and actually fight again.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No,
I don't believe it's going to happen. I think McGregor is a mess. He's got other issues going on. He hasn't got that passion for the sport. He's been saying he's going to have a comeback for 3 years, 4 years.
Probably longer than that.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be fighting Chandler.
Yeah, that didn't happen. That
never happened.
And I think that is, when you haven't got purpose in your life and you haven't got a bigger picture and you haven't got some sort of, I believe he lacks spirituality. That's what it is, McGregor. He's very hedonistic. He's very much here and now.
Yeah.
And his main motivator was the money, which is fine.
Yeah.
You come from a poor background. I get it. But I think having that awareness and understanding that the goal isn't the money, it's about the person you become. His goal is the money, and he's got everything he ever fucking wanted.
Yeah.
But, it's sad to see. And he said some fucked up shit along the way as well. So, yeah, I mean, he's a great fighter. As a personality who he is now, compared to what he used to stand for, it's completely different.
Very different.
So we'll have to see on that one. Are you ready for this final segment, bro?
I am.
So segment 4 is called Savage or Sausage. This is where I'm going to say a statement and me and Cube are going to decide whether it's savage or it's sausage. And what we mean by sausage is it's a weak-ass thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay? You ready for this?
Go on. I don't know these, by the way, so
okay.
We're all hearing them for the first time.
So, somebody who posts about their wins.
Savage.
I agree, savage. You must celebrate your wins.
100%. Okay. I think a lot of people, they don't post the bottom and they don't post the top. They post everything in between.
Yeah.
Like, today was all right. But
do you find that people post the wins, but they won't post the bottom?
I don't think they post the wins. Like the true wins. Like the ones that they're super, super, super gassed about because they don't want to be seen as like they're bragging or doing whatever. And unless they're in a certain like circle. But I think most people, they don't want to brag about it. Like I've, had certain wins where, like, say I've had a record month, or I've made a certain amount of money, or I've got, a certain job or whatever. I might tell the people close to me, but I'm not going to shout about it on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The same as when I'm like, I had the worst month ever. I'm not going to put it on social media. I kind of just put, this is kind of what I've done today. You post the in between.
Yeah.
So I think someone that's just up front and like, yeah, I've smashed it. I think that's sick. I love when people do that.
Sick. Next one. Somebody who says God's got a plan for me, but has no plan for himself. That's sausage behavior, bro.
So you're saying you're just leaving it completely up?
Yeah.
Up to,
that's not what. Yeah. Look, I'm Muslim. That's not what.
Like fate.
Yeah. That's not what God says. God says strive.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, whether there's a plan for you or not, it's like success.
The plan is for you to do the work.
Yeah.
God's plan is for you to do the work to get to where you want to be and what you want to achieve.
Well, like I say, success is where opportunity meets preparation. So like it can be written for you all you want, but when it's put on your lap, if you've just been, messing about and fucking up, you're not going to utilize that opportunity in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. That's sausage.
Sausage.
Okay. Next one. Wearing flip-flops in public.
Savage
behavior.
It takes a certain type of man to wear flip-flops in public.
With socks.
Just fully. They don't get the dogs out. The dogs out. Unless you're on holiday.
Yeah, that's different.
But I'll tell you now, I'll go
Tesco my flip-flops.
Yeah.
Rago.
I got my Birks.
Yeah.
Or Burks,
That's
man.
not savage.
Yeah, Sauvage, that is. That's a refined.
They are the ugliest.
No, they're
thing.
not.
They are. They're like Crocs, but worse.
You know what? We'll talk about it in the comments. Let's put the comments. Birkenstocks, fire.
Birks, is that what they're called?
Birks, yeah, man. Fire.
Birks and socks.
No,
if you know what they are.
They're called Birkenstocks.
Oh, Birkenstocks. This is what I mean. I don't even know what they're called.
Birks and socks.
It could be.
You know, to be fair, no, I wear it with socks.
That's what I'm saying here. Birks and socks. So I wasn't wrong. What are you laughing behind there, mate? It's not even funny, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? I said the right thing, Birks and socks.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move on. I don't condone this. Okay, so Birks and socks is sausage, sorry.
No.
Flip-flops all day, savage, okay? A man who calls his dog his fur baby.
Nah. Sausage.
Yeah, that's some sausage behaviour.
Oh, you can't do that.
Okay.
A fur baby.
Next one.
That's rough.
Someone who left his job, risked it all, built something that was real.
Sausage.
Really?
No.
Savage behaviour.
Yeah,
That's what you did.
Yeah, I'm a sausage though.
Huh?
Because I wear Birks and socks.
Yeah. Dick.
But nah, I respect that because it takes a certain type of mentality.
It takes a pair of like you on about that other guy.
Yeah, it takes a pair of balls.
Yeah.
It takes something to go, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna do
I'm laughing at this next one.
Go on. Go.
Oh. One sec, I need to compose myself.
Is it guy that says Birks and socks?
No. Shut your mouth.
Sausage. In case anyone was wondering.
Shh. This needs to hit. Doing a soft launch of your relationship on IG as a man.
Oh.
Do you need to rate that one? I think that one's just definitely sausage behaviour.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Is a soft launch where you put someone's hand?
I think it's like it's like yeah. So you're kind of alluding to the fact that you've got a missus, but you're not. There's no face, no case.
Soft launch.
That's the hard launch is with the face.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, man. Soft launch is brilliant. You know, you got to, you know what you do. You got to let the people know that you're off the market. Just in case anyone else is kind of like, oh, so you're not single anymore.
Bro, I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's
like putting the initials in the bio.
Facebook is now in a relationship with.
You know what? I've not used
Kerry.
I've not used Facebook.
Goodwin. I don't know who Kerry Goodwin is. If you're watching, sorry. You know, if I've caused turmoil in your relationship, I do apologise. I'm just using a name and example. It's the first one that comes to mind. I'm sorry.
I've not used Facebook in God knows how long.
Yeah.
So
it's like those people put coming off socials for a bit.
Oh,
no one gives a.
Oh, who are you? Yeah, I think it's time for me to go. Like, I wouldn't even realise if you did.
And then on Facebook, you get a mate, Hun, are you okay?
Hun, are you okay? Message me.
Message me. I'm here. And then you also get one creep. I'm here if you need me.
I'm here if you need me. Just inbox me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hope you're okay.
Yeah. Relationship starts on Facebook. That's wild.
Mad.
Yeah.
Right. Next one. We've only got 3 left.
Go on.
Posting gym selfies with no progress.
Sausage.
I rate it.
I don't.
I don't know. I rate it to some extent. Like, you're putting yourself out there. You know, you're showing the people I'm kind of doing something, but I'm not really doing something. You know, sausage behaviour.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you can't.
I'm trying to talk myself into that.
I feel like the second you put photos next to one of and you realise there's nothing new.
Yeah.
You've got to.
Have you ever had that where someone's posted something, you're like, there's no fucking difference.
What's like you like looking?
Oh, there's no.
Yeah,
it's a shadow.
Yeah, it's like there's a new light. No.
Yeah.
No, that's sausage. I feel like I don't know. Just gym photos in general can be a bit weird, man.
They can be. Helping people win, but not mentioning it. Savage.
Oh, this is tough.
Savage.
I think, yeah, I would agree that it's savage, but I also think you're downplaying yourself a bit as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're helping someone out without mentioning, which is how you should. You shouldn't help people out to be like, oh, I helped this person out.
Remember that time when I did this?
Yeah, remember when I did that? Oh, Remember when I saved your life?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sick, cool. But I feel like if you do help someone win, then you should big yourself up. You should be like, are you a sausage for not recognizing the value that you added to that person and not speaking about it?
It's different from mentioning it. If you go out and mention it every time, remember that time?
Oh,
you get those people in it.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up, all right, bro.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
We've gone over that.
Yeah.
I said thank you.
Yeah.
I bought you coffee.
This last one. Saying we're pregnant.
He's been gone since Birks and Socks. Birks and Socks set him off. But we're
you're not pregnant. You aren't pregnant. Your missus are pregnant.
Yeah, 100%.
You participate in getting her pregnant. You are not pregnant.
I'll tell you
you
this
are
now.
sausage.
You know what? If you didn't want the baby, you'd be going, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
But because you're happy that we're pregnant. You're not.
We're pregnant.
Yeah, we're pregnant. That's sausage. You can say we're having a baby.
Yeah.
But we're not pregnant.
Oh, yeah, we all have.
Yeah, we're having a baby.
Yeah.
We're having a baby. But you're not pregnant. As a man, this is a controversial statement.
In 2025.
You can't get pregnant as a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't.
Yeah, I agree
Can't
with
do
that.
it. It's impossible. I've tried. I did the science behind it.
We're not getting into it.
When you wear Birks and socks.
When you get Birks. So basically, you're a super sausage if you wear Birks and socks. You say that you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You post selfies with no progress. You do a soft launch of your relationship on IG.
Yeah, really.
You call your dog a fur baby. And you're saying that God's got a plan for me, but you're doing fuck all for yourself.
Basically.
Yeah, that's
full on sausage.
Yeah, cool. Enjoy that.
You know what? It was fun. It was
was
a fun
good.
format, especially that part.
This is the part where I wrap it up now.
Okay.
Do you want to wrap it up?
Wrap up? No, you wrap it up.
Are you sure?
You're a professional. This is my first time.
I try to be.
Okay, we're done. Subscribe.
Yeah. Make sure you sub to the channel.
Subscribe.
Catch you next time.
We need the subscribers.
Yeah, please.